I am back. Anybody have any questions I can answer about anything related to Physics 4A?
I had a question about labs.
Yes.
About putting them in through Pearson. Is it okay if I just do like one PDF file of Lab 5 and then like on the bottom right corner of the individual pages, I write page 1, page 2?
Oh, you know, that's totally fine. I much prefer one big PDF file. It's
Okay.
just some people need to like take pictures of it. So no, I mean, if it's just one PDF file, that's great. But
Okay.
if you need to upload individual pages, that's not ideal, but some people need to do that. So I just want to be clear, if you are doing that, label it page 1, page 2, and so on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Omar, got a question? So I'm just going to kind of hang out here until 12:30. If you guys have a question, let me know.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
So, PLC number 9. I'm kind of confused about the very last question about, so the amount of work done on the 2-object system, it looks to me like the only thing doing work on the system would be the tension in the string.
Let me pull this up real quick. And that is Physlit 6.11. Let me
Yes.
get that. Joe's homepage, Physlit. Mechanics, problem 6.11. So, okay, let me share screen. Okay, so it's this modified Atwood machine, right? One?
Yes.
And so I click start. This whole system is accelerating. So and then the questions are, hold on, annotate. Where's my mouse? What is the work done on the hanging mass due to tension, hanging mass due to gravity, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what was your question, Jordan?
I'm just confused about what exactly is doing work on things.
So if I look, let's just, I can probably annotate on this. Let me see, annotate, draw, let's do that. So if I look at the forces on the cart, right, I've got basically the normal force, I've got gravity, mg, and I've got tension. And this cart is being displaced to the right. So the normal force isn't doing any work on the cart because the angle's 90 degrees. Gravity is not doing any work on the cart because the angle's 90 degrees. The only force doing work on the cart is tension. But if I look at the hanging mass has two forces acting on it, tension and gravity, mg. Both of these cases, the force is doing work on the hanging mass. Tension is doing negative work because tension acts straight up and the hanging mass is moving down. Gravity does positive work because gravity is acting straight down and the displacement is straight down.
So that angle is going to be 0 degrees for both of them?
No, for tension, it's going to be 180 degrees because tension's acting straight up, but the hanging mass is being displaced straight down. So the angle for gravity in this case where it's moving downwards would be 0 degrees. The angle for tension would be 180 degrees in this particular case. Now, if I'm looking at the work done on the moving cart, then tension is acting in the same direction the cart is moving. So that angle would be 0 degrees for the cart.
Okay, and then normal force is doing no work, and the total amount of work done by the two object system, would I just add all of those up?
Just anytime, yeah, anytime you're looking at the system, you're looking at the work done by every single force acting on the system. That's an external force.
And are there any instances here where work would be negative?
The work done by tension on the hanging mass is negative.
Because tension is pointing up and the mass is moving down?
Exactly. So whether work is positive, negative, or 0 only depends upon the angle between that particular force and the displacement.
Okay, I think I understand now.
Cool.
That's all I had to ask. Thank you.
No worries. You are welcome. And yeah, I'll be here for another 10 minutes if you have any more questions. Let's stop that share. Doop. Kenny, if you turned in, anybody who turned in PLC 8 before campus shut down, you don't need to resubmit that.
Okay.
So yeah, so you get bonus points for getting it in early. Before the world went to shit.
Hey Joe, I was gonna ask, are we done with chapter 9?
We are. I'm going to do just a video tomorrow, just recapping the whole chapter and then doing a couple more example problems. But yeah, we're done chapter 9.
On the PLC again, when I'm looking at the final kinetic energy of a two-object system.
Yes.
Kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared, right?
Correct.
So when I have two masses, how do I figure out that for the whole system?
So it's just the total kinetic energy of the whole system. So let me pull this up real quick. PLC activities. Solutions, chapter 9, work energy. So when you're getting the total final kinetic energy of the two object system, it's just going to equal the total work done on the system, since the system starts from rest. So you've got all those different forces that you're calculating the work done by, add all those works together, and that's going to give you the total work done, which should be equal to the change in energy. And since this system started from rest, the final kinetic energy should be equal to whatever the total work done on the system is.
So H wants the total amount of work done on the two object system, and I wants the final kinetic energy of the two object system. Are those
They're
the
going to
same?
be, they're going to be exactly the same.
It's just asked in different ways for the same.
It's just emphasizing the fact that the energy changes by the total amount of work done on the system. And since the whole system started from rest, the work done is going to result in the final kinetic energy increasing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Joe,
Yes.
I was just thinking, as I'm around the house clearing up things, I've got a whole bucket of old pins, and in each side of each of those pins is a little spring.
Those are probably not going to be big enough for me to show any kind of meaningful demonstrations using a webcam.
Okay.
But that's a good thought. But yeah, I totally spaced on bringing in springs and stuff. You know, I had like an hour to go in and grab everything, and it was just like, ah!
Yeah. It would have been nice if they let you know you're going to have an hour, like a week before you went in to get everything, rather than, oh yeah, tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I was just trying to think of things around the house to use for experiments, and I was like, oh, I'm sure everybody has a half a dozen of those little tiny springs. So,
well, keep that in mind. One of the things I think we're going to be doing for 2 weeks of lab is having everyone do like a science fair project. So basically creating your own experiment that you spend a couple weeks doing, and then we're going to do presentations via Zoom for that very last week, I think. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
yeah, okay.
So yeah, good to see you here, and that everything is getting set up to do your online courses.
Trying, yeah. And, you know, when the internet cuts out and I lose everything and I have to log back in, it's just like, yeah, but yeah, making the best of it.
Yeah. Any other questions or anything, guys?
No, thanks.
Yeah, I'll be around for another 4 minutes if you have any questions.